Welcome back, everyone, and a Happy New Year. This new year, I recently acquired the Marine Flagger Tornado IDS from the event, and playing it gave me a few thoughts to consider about the Strike Fighter role, and we'll go through each of them one by one. We'll run through the event vehicle Tornado IDS for a bit, then we'll go through its capabilities in Air RB and Ground RB. I'll also touch on the other Tornado variants and some important Strike Fighters to consider, building up on the points that I will try to make in this video. So without further ado, let's check out the Tornado IDS. The Marine Flieger Tornado IDS is a 10.7 battle rating strike fighter obtainable through the current winter event. Its main armament is two Mauser BK-27 guns with 180 rounds per gun and a suite of a whopping two AIM-9L Sidewinders. This one is an improvement actually, because in the original devlog, Gaijin intended for it to have two AIM-9Ds as stock missiles. Yes, the ATG rear aspect only Cage Seeker AIM-9D as stock missiles at 10.7. Thankfully, they went back on that and gave the AIM-9Ls as stock missiles. This ground ordnance consists of 1,000-pound bombs, 2 on each wing pylons and 4 on the fuselage. The highlight of this tornado is the AS-34 Cormoran, an active air-to-air active radar air-to-surface anti-ship missile. But if you want a more in-depth look on the Cormoran, please check out my video that I did when the devlog dropped. My first thought about the Tornado IDS when I got my hands on it is, why is it 10.7? It's the lowest BR Tornado in the game. It can't be because it's got the Mark 103 turbo unions. The Italian one uses the same, but it's still at 11.3. The GR1 uses an even older Mark 101 engine at the same BR of 11.3, so it can't be the engines. Could it be that the Tornado IDS lacks paveways and thus it's 10.7? Wouldn't make any sense considering there are paveways at BRs lower than 10.7 with the Jaguars and A6Es. Heck, China's got them at 9.7, so it can't be the paveways. And Germany doesn't have a 10.7 lineup other than, like, what, the Leopard 2PL? So the Tornado IDS at 10.7 was more of an arbitrary decision rather than a gameplay one. It has the same armament and performance as an 11.3 Tornado, just without the guided bomb capability. So if we were to draw any conclusions about this, is that it's either the Tornado IDS is arbitrarily undertiered, or the other Tornadoes are arbitrarily overtiered. The next important thought to consider about the Tornado IDS stems from the myriad of Air RB mains saying that the IDS is borderline useless in Air RB, which is understandable. At 10.7, you can face the Sea Harrier FRS-1 with twice the missiles you have and the same amount of countermeasures. Your only asset in Air RB is your speed. You can use that speed to run, drop a bomb, and get shot down, or on a good day, shoot something down with your AIM-9Ls. And that's the crux of the video today, if the title hasn't given it away already. Top tier is simply no place for strike fighters. Interdictors and strike fighters like the Tornado IDS weren't made with air superiority in mind. They were made to use interdiction to penetrate enemy air defenses during the Cold War for a conventional or nuclear strike. The Tornado ADV, or air defense variant, was made to fulfill this requirement, but only the British and Italians operated them, and even then, the Tornado ADV acted more like an interceptor rather than an air superiority fighter like the MiG-29 or F-16. The problem with War Thunder is that strike fighters operate in the same environment as proper fighters, and because War Thunder's ARB system operates more like a team deathmatch kind of deal rather than an objective-based gameplay like Ground RB, and thus heavily favors aircraft that can reliably dogfight or destroy other aircraft. Naturally, a strike fighter would suffer unless it's criminally down-tiered to battle ratings where aircraft do not have the countermeasures to, avoid R-60s or AIM-9Ls, which is why the A-10 and Su-25 are considered cancer in that battle rating, because half the aircraft they face simply have no countermeasures or have no all-aspect missiles to keep up. This is also the reason why the Su-7B is at 9.3, which used to be a problem, but since Gaijin dropped the old 9.7 matchmaker to 9.3, it's now the issue of the J-29s and F-86As to keep up with this aircraft. But I digress. To summarize, strike fighters simply aren't the meta, and they probably won't be unless objectives are given a bigger spotlight in Air RB, which is highly unlikely. The F-111 Aardvark might share the same fate as the Tornado IDS when it comes to War Thunder, so yeah, it's gonna be just one hell of a time to use the Aardvark in the era of F-16s and MiG-29s. Another important thing to consider was that the Tornado IDS might have been usable in War Thunder if it was added with the A-10s and Winds of Change, along with the ASA, and the ADV was added with the F-14 in Danger Zone. The F-16s, MiG-29s, and the F-14s seem to just be too much for the Tornado IDS. And if we're not getting better sky flashes, the problem might extend to the Tornado ADV even before it's added. So all Germany and Britain can hope for now is that they get their proper fighter for them to have any use in your RB. The East German MiG-29 for the former, and the Tornado ADV for the latter. Only time will tell how Gaijin will plan to raise these nations from the dead, because the turns have tabled and Italy now has a proper fighter in the F-16 ADF that it desperately needed, which honestly was a surprise and a good move on Gaijin's part. I am actually glad they did that, and they pulled a fast one on us when the update dropped and gave everyone some air defense falcons, which is nice. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll do a video on the MiG-29 real soon, as well as expectations for 2023, building on the groundwork Gaijin has laid down with the Apex Predators update. Thank you once again for making my 2022, and I hope to continue to make more videos for you as time goes on. This is the Dr. MD, and as always, Godspeed.